Will, hopefully going to arrive. There they are!
Morning,
Good morning.
gentlemen. You right, guys?
How are we all? You're down in Brighton, are you?
Yes. We have been living together for the past 18 months or so. Lovely.
How's the weather down in Brighton today?
Raining a lot.
What have you got planned for the rest of your day?
Back to bed for me. It's raining too much.
I'm taking my youngest to his football class, which is just absolute chaos, but it'll be fun.
Perfect. Dan, that video there, brilliant. You directed that.
I did, yeah. Yeah, I've always wanted to direct a music video, and I guess things being a bit quieter at the moment with no touring has allowed some time to do it. But yeah,
I'm very good. Yeah.
Thank you, mate. Thanks so much. I'm a massive film fan, and all of our videos are always quite weird and cinematic, and so I kind of wanted to have a go, but I had to be in it and direct it. But yeah, no, I loved it. It's quite stressful, and it's given me a newfound appreciation for how much work goes into it. But
and do you think you'll do more? I mean, even necessarily outside of the band, do you think it's something you might get more involved in?
I'd love to. Yeah, I can't imagine that any other artist or musician is going to be queuing up to get me to direct their video. But I would love to. Yeah, it was really fun.
Well, that's great. So now, when you're writing the songs, the single, there, are you thinking, what does it look like visually in the video?
We always have a bit of an idea of what it's going to look like when we're making the music. It's always kind of quite escapist and cinematic in that way. But yeah, it's the first time with this song. I had a really strong idea of exactly what we wanted it to be, about kind of trying to download your memories of someone who you've lost and trying to kind of bring them back in a way. So a kind of modern Frankenstein via the Matrix and all these different like sci-fi references that are in the album. So yeah, it was just amazing to have the opportunity to get to actually do it.
Okay, here is the album.
Who are we going to get to describe it to?
Yeah, I don't know. Who wants to describe what the album... Has it got a theme running through it? Is it about something?
It should let someone, Dan.
Yeah, I don't know. Who wants to answer? Which of the talking...
Yeah, the album, we kind of have tried to do something new. Like, every album we try and do something new, and everyone says, oh, it just all sounds the same. So this time, we're going to go for it, and it's going to be different. So we went sort of like down to sort of sci-fi theme. We're like our whole career, we've been basically influenced by cinema a lot. So this time we're like films like Inception, Blade Runner, and yeah, like I can't think of a single sci-fi film, but sci-fi films in general. And also sonically, we tried to make it kind of a bit more, a bit of a departure from what we've done before. And we also tried to be kind of as collaborative as possible. So we got a lot of our friends are on it, singers and strings players, and yeah, it's nice. And I think because of the pandemic, there's a real sense of sort of it's a new era. We've had the first 3 albums, and we've sort of toured pretty much non-stop, and then we've had this sort of forced break, as did the whole world. And so it's really nice to come back with something fresh and hopefully something a bit different and like a new part of our career.
Wasn't it the case that you were thinking about writing about dystopian future type stuff before the pandemic?
Yeah, well, I had this idea of writing about. From a show that I saw at the Edinburgh Fringe, the idea about like lucid dreaming and escapism and our relationship with technology. So we'd sort of started the album and wanted to make this big sci-fi epic album sort of world, and then obviously the pandemic happened and lockdowns, and our relationship with technology just sort of doubled down. Like all of us, you know, if we weren't addicted to our screens before, we sure were then, because that's how we stayed in touch with people. Yeah. That's how we lived our lives.
Money disappeared, contactless money arrived. Exactly. It was disappearing anyway, but working from home, Zoom calls.
I feel like so many things that were sort of in the process of happening, you know, when the pandemic happened, it's just sped all that up so much. So yeah, I guess it was kind of obviously awful and terrible in many ways, but for us creatively to see all these things happening and the future, we're kind of living in a version of the future from the sci-fi of the past, and I guess the album is sort of about that. And it was fun to get to sort of explore that. And
it was funny because lots of artists that we have on sort of say that almost whilst lots of elements of the pandemic, of course, were painful and hard, but creatively, did you all find that, you know, it actually gave you almost room to explore a little bit more?
It was weird having to do things remotely. Sorry, Wood.
It's all right. I was going to say, yeah, doing it all remotely. I mean, we're kind of fortunate in that we've all individually got our own kind of home recording setups. Like I've got a drum studio in the garden, which my neighbours are thrilled about, but it means that I can then like email drum parts, and like Will can record stuff here in his place. And yeah, it's a different way of working, whereas historically we'd have, say, run songs in sound check and even like road tested them. Now, I mean, we've still not played these songs in front of people yet, which will hopefully come next year on tour. But yeah, I guess it's not how we would have chosen to have worked ideally, but it's nice to show that we can do it. Maybe in future we could all move to like the Bahamas or different parts of the world and still be a band. It'd be great.
You say you're going to play in front of humans. That's very old-fashioned. Don't bother with humans. Go straight to AI. Play to them. They're the future. Interesting. One of the tracks on it, you've got Riz Ahmed on it. Doing Promises. I haven't actually heard this yet, but it's just is it a bit of poetry?
Yeah. So we sent him the album, and we're really keen to just get a different perspective and a different voice on the record, and he kind of listened to it and digested all the themes. And there's loads of stuff on there about like our relationship with tech and what is the future and what's it going to be like, and what it does to our identity and our relationships and everything. And he listened to it and just sent us this amazing, beautiful kind of spoken word poem that's really introspective but also quite funny. And his flow is amazing, so we sort of put some music behind it. I'm so proud of it. Yeah, I'm excited for people to hear it.
Sounds like you're feeling very experimental at the moment.
Yeah, I think so. I think like they were saying, like Will said, we've been lucky enough to do 3 albums, and our process was always quite, it was just us, and it was very like sort of heads down, we'll get on with it. So with this, I think both because in lockdowns people wanted to stay in touch, you wanted an excuse to work with other people, even if it was through a screen. I think with this album, we're just excited to still be getting to make music and wanted to make something that felt different and interesting and experimental in some respects, but also just like a record you want to dance to as well.
Yeah, oh, that's good. Yeah. So when are you touring to humans, to people? When are you going to...
We're touring next year.
Well, hopefully next year we're going to do, well, not hopefully, it's confirmed. We're doing our UK tour, which is going to be the first time I think we've toured in the UK for maybe 3 years, or at least 2.5. So that's kicking off. And then after the UK, we're going to hopefully expand out into the rest of the world, South America, American stuff. But yeah, it's going to be, like what he says, incredible to actually take these songs that have just existed so far in the studio. Because normally, like, you'd get to play them as you're just sort of developing them often. And if we're on tour, we might road test something. So this is going to be really fun to just go in April, just straight back on tour in the UK, all new material. And people can... go online and find out when and come and visit us at
it's quite funny,
all sorts of different places in the UK.
It's quite funny that you're talking about this album and the future and Give Me the Future, and you're sitting here and the other 2 members of your band are sitting in Brighton.
It couldn't be more perfect. Even having made a bit of the album in lockdown over screens and writing over Zoom and sending parts, like it could not have been more fitting for the sort of the subject of this album.
Well, this show changed, I think, for the better during the pandemic because we suddenly had to use Zoom.
Yeah.
So it opened up many more opportunities for us to speak to people all over the country and the world. We speak to America a lot and stuff like that. It's really good.
And it's had that effect, hasn't it? Obviously.
Yeah, it's been brilliant. It's sort of been a strange way.
Normal now.
Yeah, it's connected us in a way.
It's totally normalised that there's a sort of Futurama-esque digital version.
Yeah.
Ricky and Will said just
Are they in the future? Or would he actually in the future?
Yeah,
I don't know. Ask his internet connection. I've got no idea.
Listen, thanks, guys. Your single No Bad Days is out now, and your album Give Me the Future is out in February, and we've got a special performance from you later on. Looking forward to that.
Cheers, guys.
Thanks.